Hello, good morning, welcome in, let's go. Ding ding. We'll make the bell sound ourselves today. How are we doing? Look at that SPY price action. That is a good jump there, up towards 695, 695.25. Man, this is a good move here. So far, we're gapping up today a little bit. Not quite as high as the SPY got to yesterday, but the gap up is real. Welcome in, welcome in. What's up, Joe Papa, Zach, Pew Pew, Xavier, Tangy Man, Manicured. Tangy Man's going nuts. Peppers even. Excited today, Tangy. Tesla trying to move a little bit here at open. Pretty big 5-minute candle. Good 1-minute jump up, but really weird second 1-minute candle. My gosh. Talk about some volatility there. Apple was on fire yesterday, so I'm watching them again. They're pulling back a little bit, though. Oh, wow. They actually pulled back a lot more than I thought at the end of the day yesterday. Never mind. That was a pretty big pullback yesterday. I haven't looked at Apple too much since then. Gave back all their gains. They were on fire yesterday morning. They had comments about Siri problems. Oh, I did see that headline actually last night. Complications with that new Siri rollout, something like that. Yeah, it says that their latest attempt to launch new Siri runs into snags. Delayed again now. Uh-oh. Yeah, definitely not good news. Looking at Mag 7 today, SPY is starting to try to pump back. Apple is down 1.17%. Amazon, sharp pullback at open again. Amazon has been pretty rough lately. All over the place. Very volatile. One of the stocks kind of falling down, though. A lot of people are maybe looking for Amazon to break through its recent low off of that drop following earnings. It's getting pretty close to the bottom end of that range, too. We might see another flush. But us holding up just fine on the daily, at least for right now. High of the morning sitting at 676. Tesla, 434.50. All right, Tesla, let's see if we can get that bullish continuation going, because it actually looks pretty solid. It's been very solid for the past week or so, just continual stair steps to the upside, and this morning it's continuing that trend, that pattern, staying the same there. Not a lot of trends on the indexes. I would say it's been a pretty good uptrend for the SPY lately, at least. Even with the past couple days mixed in as red, we could still see that uptrend possibly continue here. Guess it depends what you're looking at. We made another $1.2 million deal yesterday, Tangy said. Don't even care if the market pulls back. I'll just buy everything. I love it, Tangy. Love it, love it. Another $1 million deal. That's what we like to hear. Good morning, Alexander. Good morning. Palantir holding at 135 support here. This is a big zone of support for us. Look at that double bottom on Palantir. Right around 134.80 to 135. Look at Palantir selling down there. That's a huge pullback, 133.50. As it's starting to bounce. Someone asked Tangi, how do you sleep at night? He responded, on a very large pile of money. That's an OG boss answer, Tangi. A boss answer right there. Tesla's really going today. It's been the more bullish stock that we've looked at so far. Love the price action to the upside. I know the Tesla bulls are going to be rejoicing. Fastly's up 64%. Did they split or something? No, they're literally just moving off of earnings, though. 64% for Fastly. I bet, yeah, on the daily, they're still down a lot over the past few years, even with that 64% jump. But they're starting to break out well. Back through their 1250 resistance zone. Really ripping here towards 15 plus. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Plus the changes in tax law that just got passed means I'm not going to get taxed to hell when my parents pass away. Oh. That sucks. Mine just passed away, Tangi. I'm probably going to be taxed to hell. That's funny. Right after I have it. Uncle Sam shows no mercy. That's funny. That's pretty good. 436 on Tesla. Man, let's see if that rip can keep going, because that is awesome. Apple falling, though. Giving back the gains. Not looking good. Not looking good. On the daily chart, Apple really needed a breakout here. If it turns over, it'll be a pretty rough-looking move. Take-Two Interactive. Still eyeing them up with GTA 6. I don't know when GTA 6 is going to finally ever come out. I don't think it's ever going to really come out. Nah, it will. When it does, it better be, like, amazing, I'm telling you. I'm going to be buying, like, a brand new computer whenever it comes out, just so I can play it good. I'll bet you that whenever it comes out, I bet that there might even end up being a shortage in, like, PC parts and stuff from people trying to upgrade and do all types of things to make it work better. It'll come out on the PlayStation 10. A guy got arrested and was crying because he was going to miss the GTA 6 release. No, I didn't hear anything about that. All right, Tessie. Stock of the day. If you guys have any other big movers, feel free to throw them out, but I'm just going to start going down the watch list. Some of the big boys here. SNDK. Oh my gosh. Breaking out again. SNDK 656. Up another 10%. Look at that daily chart of SNDK. Running back towards that all-time high, closer to 725 on the daily chart. Let's check it on the hourly. Yep, 725 or so. Wow, what a move there. Hey, UPS, another nice ripper. 121.50. There we go. UPS. Still running to the upside. It's getting better and better. Walmart. WMT. Oh, Walmart again. No kidding. Right back up there. We might be heading a new all-time high with Walmart today. Look at that jump. Now that's a beauty. Now that's what we want to see. Nice candles on Walmart. Yeah, very, very nice. I mean, we're about to make a new high. It's up 2.3% already today. Beautiful. The problem with it is that it's literally touching resistance right now. Running up into that high, but with how strong it is, it has the possibility to break through. Damn, that is wild to see again. How about Target? Not near as good. Costco. Costco's pretty good again. 0.9%. Looks like it should break, Brain said. Yeah, WMT with the strength. It might take a second, but I could see it getting through there at least tomorrow or sometime short term. Banks kind of falling down. Bank of America to the downside. Let's see JP Morgan. Yeah, I mean, break even. I would say more bearish price action on the day than anything. Goldman Sachs. WFC. Good morning, though, Brain. Glad to have you. Glad to see you here today. Gosh, I can't talk. CELH, J-Duck said earlier. Celsius, I haven't looked at them in a few days. Looking at Celsius, looks like they're falling through a big trend line on the hourly chart. Intraday today, they tried to pop back a little bit here at open, but nothing too crazy in my eyes. Back under 45 now. I don't know. You clicked on Intel instead of Celsius? Oh. I was like, Celsius isn't doing anything. Western Digital. Whoa, in the memory stocks. Everybody's going crazy for this one in the discussion channel. WDC breaking out on the daily. MU running pretty well overall today, but not like WDC. 11.2%. We don't have them on our watch list. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. What are we doing? Could have sworn they were on there. Maybe they got taken off at one point. GE Verona. 1.88% here. Daily chart, watch this. Yeah. Very wild. Some of these value stocks, I'm telling you, one of my favorites has been Caterpillar. Look at Big Cat going up again, too. Big Cat. If you guys didn't know, this company makes fireworks. No, just kidding. Caterpillar, the big construction equipment company. My family's business actually makes a ton of hoses for Caterpillars and different things like that. Bulldozers, buckets, all types of stuff. We make hydraulics for it. Cylinders, hoses, and all that stuff. Mason said the ones that turn into butterflies. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I'm gonna make, instead of Caterpillar, I'm gonna make my own construction equipment company called Butterflies. Used to build large slip rings for them. Nice. KO's popping too. Another value stock. Breaking it out. Yeah, very nice PA today. Moving up towards $80. I think it's at all-time highs. All-time highs. Pepsi. Nothing too crazy. Back to the UPS. Oh, yeah. Thoughts on Lumentum? $ LITE. Lumentum. $600 resistance. It's up 3%. LITE. There's actually some fairly good momentum lately. It's been kind of choppy from open today. Palantir's down 1.25%. Weighing in on the SPY. SPY itself now is falling down into the gap. Watch out for 692 and 692.50 as that gap fills. Below there. Oh, man. We got to be careful for like 690 area. What I could see with the SPY today is I could see it continuing to fall down a little bit, maybe fill the gap, but I am ultimately looking for a more of a dip buy back up with SPY today. I think that we could see a decent dip buy back. McDonald's all-time highs. I know, I saw they had good earnings today. But they pulled back. It was technically last night. I was actually watching them whenever they were right here last night. And then I was looking at them in pre-market. But, wow, they did make new highs and then pulled back hard. They're trying to hold above a huge resistance zone. McDonald's, though. It's pretty funny. Pretty good trends with them lately. Each time it dips significantly, it's been getting bought back up very well. So I'll wait for a little bit of a dip and possibly look for another good trend higher. I saw that they're switched towards like more value related items, and more value in general was like the big headline yesterday. Yeah, it says their value push pays off. Buzzy promotion like the Grinch meal and Monopoly helped the burger chain win over customers. Monopoly must have done a good job, I'll tell you that. Remember whenever we were talking about that stuff going on with Monopoly and potentially helping the company? It paid off. Paid off as time went forward. EPS beat, revenue beat. It says executives expect weaker first quarter same-store sales growth compared with the fourth quarter. Ah, that makes sense probably. The winter storm that swept across the country in late January scared some away and caused temporary restaurant closures. Oh no. Oh no. McDonald's plans to open 750 restaurants in the U.S. and its international markets, while licenses and affiliates will open more than 1,800 restaurants in other markets. Damn. It's a lot coming up. Tesla bouncing off 429, 430. Holding that low from pre-market, or support from pre-market. Not technically the low, but technically the first candle of pre-market was the low. But every time pre-market opens, there's like a weird first candle. So I like to see it bouncing off 429 though. Here from open, coming back a bit more. It's good to see that so far. That's a good bullish sign for the bulls out there looking for a dip buy. But if that gives out, I don't know. I would be very wary. SPY was moving just like that too, falling down, trying to bounce. It's bouncing close to the low from pre-market right now. Mason said Buffett's probably spending all of his money there. All of his retirement money. Netflix is still falling today. That is a massive drop off, down 3.2%. Look at that turnover on the daily chart. Now that is what you call a bad drop off. That is a huge pullback coming into play there with Netflix. Looking at the watch list for this morning, of course, SNDK was up there. WDC, those memory players, still looking pretty good here. Western Digital started to pull back a little bit. TeraWulf's up there. MU. GM's up 2.4%. It's good to see that. They've been getting hit and smacked down in the short term. General Motors marking a bit of a comeback today. Nothing crazy, though. Raytheon, defense players moving a little. $200 plus for Raytheon today. Up 1.89%. That's well above their average percent rise. Lockheed Martin, 1.8% too. Any Iran news coming out? I had not seen any updates yet, but there could definitely be some. I guess one of the big headlines today that we hadn't talked about too much yet is the House actually voted to override Trump's Canada tariffs. They passed a resolution. 3 House Republicans voted with Democrats to defeat a measure that would have prohibited such votes through the summer. It says the president's likely to veto any anti-tariff legislation that reaches his desk. So it's kind of a mute point, I suppose. I thought it's definitely a big headline, though, but definitely hearing more tariff headlines lately. Tariff revenue soars more than 300% as U.S. awaits Supreme Court decision. I know a lot of people have been really waiting for that Supreme Court decision to finally happen with tariffs, but it's just not been happening. They're just not ruling yet. They could make a ruling, though, eventually. Hopefully they would announce if they're going to actually, do a ruling on it or not. And we don't just get a random one day, oh, now they're doing it. It'd be nice. Because the problem is that they have those, they have, like, the arguments for it first, and then they see. I forgot what they called that. Give me 1 second. There's like a weird phrase that they use for this. With the tariffs and the tariff ruling. Like, they don't have to issue a ruling there. Let's see what they call it. They were told to hold off or else, Coconut said. Uh-oh. That's never good to hear. All right, we just got existing home sales hitting the headline. U.S. existing home sales. Just hit the wire. Looks like the actual number came in at 3.91 million versus forecast of 4.15 million. Wow, seems like they came in a little bit under there. Let's see what SPY's doing. SPY's moving well off that data release so far, though. Not great, but pretty good. Right back up. Yeah, they just keep holding off that ruling. I'm trying to think of trying to find the exact wording that they use there for this, but it's becoming hard to find. Coinbase, Xavier said, COIN, earnings tonight. Wow, coin is down a lot today again, 3.6% pullback. Another big drop off. Look at that daily chart for coin. Wow, moving lower and lower. 140 support coming up. Earnings tonight, though, what do we think? Okay, guys. While you're here, destroy that like button, and we're going to do a poll, because tomorrow we're going to have crucial, and I mean crucial, CPI data hitting the stock market. This is going to be a huge day tomorrow morning. 1 hour before open, we could see a big shift even in Kalshi odds for a Fed decision. Let's pull up the decision for March right now. Here's what we're looking at. Looks like a 93% chance of the Feds to maintain rates at the March meeting. Now, a lot of people are also looking at June meeting. Let me see if I can find it here. Poly market, actually, sorry. Let me get it up here. I had it yesterday. Here we go. Here it is. Let me do this. Take away these two. Okay. Here's our big shift yesterday up from June. It essentially was being priced in for a rate cut, but the rate cut opportunity, or the rate cut chances, actually dropped, and they fell under 50%. They're now sitting at 49%, but that's a pretty rough thing. It didn't go towards pause yet, but pause got a lot closer to the 25 basis point decrease. Now, there is actually a slight chance. There's a 1.8% chance of a 50 basis point increase and a 2.3% chance of a 25 basis point increase. So there's a couple chances to even increase the rate there very, very slightly or have no change. But the rate cut odds did fall, under 50%, but they are still what's being priced in right now. even though it fell under 50%. Oh, I missed this one too. There we go. 50 BPS decrease. That's the one that's a 9%. Okay, that would be the 50 basis point cut. That's the one that stole a lot of that percentage away. Sorry, they have a whole bunch on here for you to pick from. Gotta love Polymarket and Kalshi nowadays. It's very fun, but yeah, the odds are shifting, and these odds could shift in a huge way again tomorrow. And that's the big deal. If we see inflation come in lower than expected or cooling off, that would be great. That would probably price in a rate cut even more. But if inflation comes in hot, that's where they got to be careful. Home sales tank in January, more than 8%. Realtor says potential buyers are struggling. Look at this headline hitting today. I know home affordability has been rough. The median price for a home sold in January was $396,800. Oh, wow. That's interesting. All right, let's run up this poll, though, because that data is going to be huge, and we're just seeing a lot of data come in and hit. So with the inflation data tomorrow, will the market have a positive reaction? Essentially, will the market be green or red tomorrow? Will it close green or red? I guess we won't say that in case something weird comes out. We'll just say, will the market have a positive or negative reaction to CPI data? So we have positive reaction, negative reaction, or neutral reaction. Here we go. Let's start the poll up. Might hold on to cash and DCA, Hood, and Amazon for the long term. They are kind of dipping right now in good spots to maybe start buying in. It's hard to catch a falling knife, though. Like, these could still fall down a significantly more amount. I know that this sounds wild, but just based off of, like, charting alone, I mean, I would think Robinhood has a shot to even get to, like, $30, $40. I could see it getting all the way down there. So I would be careful if I was, you know, trying to get it in the short term. I would just make sure to DCA in a lot. Any thoughts on Carvana, CVNA? Funny, yeah, falling back down in a massive way again. Carvana did great during COVID. They died, and it was one of the few stocks that made a solid recovery. Now they are pulling back again. What I'm looking at with Carvana is they're dipping, but they're on this uptrend where they keep having these dips, but they immediately bounce back. So looking at that trend, they're actually right on it right now. I think it's important to be patient in the short term and see if they're going to hold the trend or not. If they start to fall under the trend, I think that we could maybe trade it down for a 300 breakdown, and eventually, well, you would enter before 300, but you can get in for that $300 breakdown. But I'm definitely more of a fan of the trade to the downside right now. Just be careful of this trend. It's been holding, and it doesn't have to bounce here, but I could at least see a little reaction. It'd be nice, though, to see a flush. That's really what I think would be best case scenario here. Yeah, if you guys are in here, you're not yet in the trading floor, make sure that you check it out. A lot of opportunities for more trading opportunities in the trading floor. Bots are always calling out day trades, stuff like that. Get in there, trade with Mike, essentially. You can ask him any types of questions that you want. Yeah, get in there, check it out. Very awesome. I just feel like they're sitting on bad debt and appreciating assets, and apparently Gotham released something that their books might be cooked. I did actually hear that with their books possibly being cooked a little bit, so that did scare me on that headline. I do actually have a memory of seeing that exact headline come out. That's funny. But yeah, Carvana, rough price action. I like it to the downside, but it is on that trend. But do people trust CPI data lately? I mean, I think that they should trust CPI data. I don't think that you should trust maybe jobs data. The jobs data always gets revised back down. CPI data at least is, I would say, fairly real. Again, there's probably ways that they cook things at least a little bit. But at the end of the day, I trust CPI much more than jobs. Palantir pulling down. 133 support from yesterday, testing right now. We might see a bit of a breakdown opportunity here. I wonder if SPY is starting to turn back down to the 100 EMA. Let's see. Moving average exponential. You said 100? Depends what time frame you're on, too. What time frame are you on? That's going to make a huge difference. Probably the daily. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming you're watching the daily. I would doubt it. That's pretty far away. It could happen, but SPY hasn't touched a new high yet. SPY, every time it makes a new high recently, it turns right back over, and that's kind of what I'm looking for, is that turnover there at that high. It's so bad, techies are talking about going back to DDR3. What? Computer component prices are through the roof. Surely that factors in inflation. That has to go into some of it. Let me see how much. Oh yeah, they are pretty expensive, aren't they? Let me see what kind of RAM I have again. I totally forgot on this new computer what I have. It's a massive drop off there with SPY. Filled that gap. Boeing's on fire up to 246. I can't figure out what type of RAM I have now. Oh, here we go. It just says 64 gigabytes. I can't remember if it's DDR4 or not. Or if it's DDR5. Holy crap, DDR5 is expensive now, no kidding. That's wild, guys. You bought your RAM in June 2025 for $400, now it's $1,200. Holy shit. It's actually fairly intensive, Xavier. They're making laptop RAM converters so they can build and fit into desktop motherboards. No way. Now that's crazy. I hope that that cools down here soon, because, man, I was looking to grab a new PC here soon. The cost isn't really a problem, but my gosh. Minecraft mod packs need RAM. I remember back in the day playing that as a little kid with a bad laptop with like no RAM and it barely ran. Bank of America down to 53.20. Looking at the SPY here, still bouncing around the bottom end of its zone. So it did get down towards 692. Like we talked about, it filled that gap at 692.50. Bounced in between there and 692. This is where I'm looking for SPY to potentially bounce back at. Doesn't mean it has to today, but I am looking for a bit of a dip buy opportunity coming off of this zone. It does look like a good base is starting to form and possibly coming back up. Where at those slows things down or not, I wouldn't know. There's a good hold here by SPY. Watch this base. If the low of day gives out, we'll probably be breaking under 692 there pretty soon, so watch out. But the base is holding for now. And again, we have jobs data tomorrow, inflation data tomorrow morning, which again is going to impact things a lot. Don't forget to vote up in the poll. There's 32 current votes in the poll. Let's see if we can run that up a little bit. Run that poll up. Get it going. Here's PLTR 133. Palantir having some issues this morning. Tesla had that good run and gave it all back. Attempting a recovery, though. Have you seen the move on CBRE? Real estate's having a bad time. CBRE, let's see. 130 starting to bounce a little bit. Oh, wow. CBRE looks terrible on the daily. My gosh. Yeah, no kidding. I'm surprised I didn't hear about this one yesterday. CBRE Group is getting destroyed. Tesla's going back to the opening range break supply zone. It'd be nice if they did. The converters add the length of the signals has to travel, so the RAM is capped to around 2400 megahertz. Tansy, are you short CBRE? He says it's coming just in time for him to buy. You buying, I thought you already bought that property, Tansy, man. Did you not buy it yet? Good morning, Demure. Welcome in today. Welcome in, welcome in. Good morning. Oh, you almost pulled the trigger on a house a few months back, but you had underlying issues and you didn't want to deal with it. Ah, that's what happened. Okay. Yeah, CBRE down 13%. I remember you talking about that, though. That was a good one. SPY still chopping around the bottom end of this zone in the base. I would say starting to get towards the end of this chop zone where we're going to start to see more of a move. A new foundation in sewer. The foundations can be pretty bad. By my estimate, the house needed $82,000 in repairs before it would even be occupiable. Sounds like my dad's house when he died. That thing had so many problems, Tanji. QQQ 610, 50, 610. Big support. SPY, QQQ, both just stuck in the base. Look at off topic for Blue Wendy's. What the? Mets took a picture of this for us Americans today. Whoa. Their U-turn sign looks funny too. No U-turn for 330 yards. Whoa, they use freedom metrics out there. Freedom digits. I didn't expect that. That's cool. Three football fields, no U-turn. It is funny how people do that. They like to use items for measurement. That's been a funny meme lately, though. I like it, Tangy. NVO bouncing around 42.50, 43. Big support on NVO. It might not hold up, though. Do you guys still use wood to build houses, or have you started using bricks? In the US, people used to use bricks a long time ago, and brick houses have since pretty much been evaporated. There's no more brick. Very rare, is what I would say, for a new one. $29 cheeseburgers. Oh my god. You guys are wild. Pfizer jumping. $28. If you guys think Pfizer's going to get through this daily resistance zone, this zone that Pfizer's sitting at is huge. There's massive resistance here on Pfizer. And we're testing the upper end of this zone right now. Could be going for more of a breakout opportunity. Wow, let's see it, Pfizer. I love this Pfizer setup, though. There's a lot of these stocks that are not necessarily tech stocks or stocks that traders love that have been really moving lately, and Pfizer's one of them that's been coming back and making a good attempt of a breakout here. It's a really good sector to watch for. 36.50 to 37 is also a massive support on Moderna that's holding up lately, another healthcare stock, but this stock had recently had a big move to the downside and is now starting to move. They actually have earnings coming out tomorrow. That's actually one thing that we have not looked at today, is the earnings for tomorrow. Moderna, Wendy's, CCJ. Speaking of Wendy's, they report tomorrow. Who would have guessed? SoFi is ready to go under 20, Jake said. Yeah, it is. It just popped under there, too. SoFi really breaking it down, Jake. I love that. Watch it to the downside. That's looking awesome. Great momentum. Good call. That's beautiful. Alrighty, guys. SPY breaking down. 692 support giving out. The sell-off is coming through. This big zone from yesterday is starting to test. There was like 3 or 4 bounces at 691.40 yesterday, 691.50. And then there were also like 3 bounces off of 692. So this entire range is huge for SPY, but it did not hold that base. It is moving to the downside. Time to adapt. Wow. There was some really good momentum there as that base and support level just smashed to the downside. And there goes SPY moving it down. I'm looking for some news here. No real news that I'm seeing at the moment. Senate Commerce Committee approves bill to speed approval of new satellite launches. I'm not seeing any news that would really spark this over the past 10 minutes or so. Unusual Whales just posted a minute ago that the Fed will cut with 2 25 basis point cuts in June and September per UBS. Yeah, really strange. I really don't see anything there. Wow, SPY really pulling off there. 690 might be coming up now. This is starting to become a pretty massive drop. No dip buying opportunity right there on the SPY, I suppose. If you did, I hope you stopped out pretty quickly. Mag 7 turning over hard. Meta, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, Tesla, Microsoft, all nasty red candles here at this moment. All starting to turn over and pull back in a massive way. Meta just had a pretty huge drop down under 660 support. Meta looks just like the SPY in the way it sold off. Pretty rough. We're just not able to really get that upside momentum going with SPY here. It takes a lot of chop lately. Like, we're not just really ripping up the new highs, which I'd prefer. It's like very choppy. I want to go back to price action like this. Rather than chop, 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 chop. At least it's been an uptrend. I guess that's the one positive, but Good for the put players who scalped in today, though. My word. And with all this said, Walmart's now up at 3% at new all-time highs. Did they hit it yet? Let's see. Yep. By far. 133.10. 3.3% for Walmart. That's insane, Coconut. That's really insane. They're even up around the upper end of my watch list, too. It's funny. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and call the stream there today. Things got a little bit shaky here with the SPY, but watch out for that data coming out tomorrow morning. 40 votes in the poll only today. It made me sad. Negative reaction is winning the poll vote, though. Looks like traders are more looking for a negative reaction. At least you guys are. With CPI data tomorrow, getting 44% of the vote. Yeah, make sure to join in tomorrow morning. We'll be looking at that opening move, following that jobs report, following the inflation report. We'll be going over all of the inflation data, all the big numbers, and what it means for the rate cut outlook going forward. So join up. Make sure to check out tonight's video as well. Go leave us a comment. Say you're from the live, something like that. Let's get it. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Only 2 trading days left this week if you count today. So let's crush it to end the week here. See you guys.